There is a lot of exciting news coming out of the anime industry right now, especially if you're a certain Index Railgun fan. There's 2 new properties coming out for it, which is completely unheard of. But at the same time, we also have some other news, including Vampires-chan Can't Suck Properly is getting an anime adaptation. That title, yes, that is getting an anime adaptation. As well as we got the Return of Air, the visual novel, is actually finally getting a Western release on Steam, which is really crazy. But yeah, we have that and so much more, so definitely stay tuned. First things first, let's get to the Railgun stuff. Yes, a Certain Scientific Railgun anime is getting a 4th season. After so long, it is finally getting a sequel anime adaptation, which is absolutely insane. We also have the director will be returning to the Studio JC staff, so we have pretty much a lot of the team members from the original project is going to be there, which is really exciting for a lot of the longtime fans for the series. Honestly, me personally, I've yet to watch the entire series. I know, shocking. As much as I absolutely love the characters from the series, I've actually played the characters in other video games, I've yet to actually watch the show. I've tried Index a couple times, never got through it, but maybe finally now that it has a 4th season, maybe finally I'll go watch the entire thing. I think I'm due for it. I think it's up the words of like 100 episodes at this point with the 2 series, so it's going to take a while, but I do want to get into it, so I might join people in watching the 4th season when that comes around. But yeah, that's not it. They also had another series, and the property is actually getting an anime adaptation, which is really, really exciting. A certain item of the Dark Side novel is getting an anime adaptation as well, which is really crazy. The story follows 4 girls who live in the dark side of Academy City. So 2 whole properties getting an anime adaptation. We do have a comment by the author themselves, which says girl coexistence, which I think is the alternative translation of a certain item of the Dark Side novel, and Certain Scientific Railgun are getting anime adaptations. Those girls are getting to move and talk up a storm. They're both the same rich girl category, but their concepts of good and evil are completely opposite, so comparing them might be interesting. Especially the meaning of teamwork are completely different in the 2 works, and that kind of thing. Surprisingly, between Mugino and Mikoto, Mugino is actually more dependent. In other words, if Mugino starts acting on her own, there's no one to put on the brakes. Mikoto, on the other hand, shows different side of her personality depending on who she's with, so that's something to look out for. Anyways, please enjoy both works. Pretty cool. But yeah, also the illustrator made a comment saying congratulations on the anime adaptation. I hope everyone will enjoy it as another new facet of the Certain series and as a completely different and solid work. I will also do my best to add flair with my illustrations, so please support us. So really cool stuff there. Like I said, again, probably really exciting for them to have these both actually getting adaptation, but really cool stuff. Again, I hopefully I'll get caught up on the series before this comes around. Again, it's like 100 episodes at this point, so it's going to be difficult, but I really do want to. It's been on the back burner for so long. I think this kind of is the push. Andrew, you got to get up with it. You got to get up with it. You've been enjoying these character designs. You've been playing Crossing Void before it got shut down. Maybe it's finally time to actually jump into it. So we'll see. We'll see, though. But yeah, for fans of the series, definitely cool stuff. Really excited for you guys. But moving on there, we do have some other news. There is some other important things happening in the anime industry, so stick around. Dengeki Bunko Winter Festival announced that even a Replica Can Fall in Love novel is getting a TV anime adaptation. The synopsis for it is on days when Suno is sick or not feeling like going to school, she is called to take her place. She was born to this world when Sono wished to have a substitute. No one knows that she exists, but she tries her best for Sono whenever she is called. One day she talks to Sanada, one of her classmates. They become friends, but soon he knows that she's different from the original. He was the first one who did. She tells him to talk to her only when she has her hair half up. Sanada does like she told him, and they enjoy their time together. When they become closer, she realizes that she has special feelings towards Sanada, but she doesn't know what will happen to her if she, a replica, falls in love. That's actually very interesting. I'm curious what she actually is. Again, it's a wish thing, so it seems like she kind of just manifests. That makes me believe that it's not like a robot or something like that, like a doppelganger or something like that, that she's somehow produced. It's kind of a weird creation of it, but yeah, the idea of her kind of falling in love and being a separate thing. I would assume that it'd eventually get to the idea of her just kind of becoming her own self and just splitting off from her original, but really cool stuff. But yeah, I guess technically that's the question mark. If she feels like if she breaks off, does she disappear? Breaking off from her original, does that make her no longer exist? Pretty cool concept there. But yeah, that could turn into a pretty interesting little romance there. Looking forward to that one. But yes, another property from the same artist is actually getting an adaptation, which is pretty cool. Chitose is in the Ramune Bottle light novel is getting a TV anime adaptation in 2025, so it'll be in this year. The synopsis says, as far as normies go, it's hard to beat Saku Chitose, the most popular kid in his high school? Check. An ironclad reputation that can even weather vicious online attacks? Check. A group of friends who are just as attractive on the outside as they are on the inside? Check. But when a teacher asks Saku to help a student who has been shut in away from his room for months reacclimate his school life, his perfect world will never be the same. What is this, some kind of normie harem story? Okay. Surrounded by hot girls and suddenly has to go help somebody else out? Definitely digging the character designs for this series, so I'm really hoping this one actually turns out to be really good, but a pretty decent setup. I'm not really like super sold on the synopsis for it, but we'll see. Moving on, Kadokawa has announced that the kept man of the Princess Knight light novel series is getting an anime adaptation. I think this one was like leaked a long time ago, so it's kind of nice to this kind of get a confirmation finally. Now, the sad part about this is that, yes, Studio Blade is going to be animating it, which is not the greatest studio ever, so hopefully this will be their breakout. We'll see. But yes, the synopsis says the Dungeon City is a wicked place filled with crime, debauchery, and death. Its one shining light is Arwen, the beautiful Crimson Princess Knight. She and her brave party of adventurers descend into the dungeon at the city's center, seeking a legendary treasure with the power to rebuild the princess's fallen kingdom. Many yearn to be at her side, but that spot is already taken by Matthew. That's a very Japanese anime name. Matthew. A man despised by all in the town as a cowardly weakling. Everyone thinks of him as scum, who just spends her hard-earned money on booze, women, and gambling. No one in the city, not even the Princess Knight, knows what Matthew is truly capable of. Okay, that's a very standard synopsis there about the idea of the guy that everybody hates, but he's actually really cool or something. We'll see. It could turn out to be really cool, but again, I'm a little bit worried about the fact that Blade is working on it, which again, not the best studio ever, but we'll see. We'll see. For our next bit, yes, Air. The visual novel Air from Kijin Visual Arts is getting a release in the West on Steam on March 5th. This is really, really awesome because honestly, Air was like one of the first series that I ever actually physically bought. I bought the actual DVD set, box set of it, and I absolutely loved it. There was some backstory stuff later on that I really didn't think hit for me, but the original story, the original concept of the main characters, I just absolutely adored. Like, it was the first anime series that I just bawled my eyes out watching. Maybe besides Tenchi Muyo, the movie. That one really hit me hard, but yeah, I absolutely love Air, and this is really fantastic. This is getting a Western release. The release will have audio in Japanese with text in Japanese, English, and simplified Chinese. It will also have HD visuals and retouched CG coloring, so it's going to have some upgrade on the visuals themselves. But again, like I said earlier, I think the exciting thing here is just this finally getting a Western release, which is just absolutely fantastic. I was hoping this would be one of those ones that back when visual novels first started kind of kicking up and coming to the West physically, I was hoping this would get a physical release, but I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. This is super exciting. Really awesome to see this on here. For our next bit, the official website for the anime Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gentosho released a new promo revealing a March 31st premiere. So there'll be a spring show? Yeah, a spring show. This is, of course, following the delay. It was originally supposed to release in, I believe, summer of 2024. So it had a massive delay. They cited production delays, but it looks like this is finally coming out. Hopefully, unless they get another delay. We'll see, but cool to see that. For our next bit, the official website for Vigin Punk revealed that Clockwork Girl, which is the first part of the Vigin Punk series, is going to be releasing in theaters in Japan on June 27th. So that'll be the theatrical release in Japan specifically. I don't know that anybody has licensed this yet, so I'm not sure if we'll get theatrical releases over here. I'm pretty sure just because of the caliber behind the actual project itself, that could possibly help it out. I mean, it's Shaft and everything like that, so it's got some pedigree behind it that hopefully somebody in the West will pick it up and release it over here. But we'll have to wait and see. I was hoping this would actually be a TV release series, but it looks like they're going for theatrical releases, maybe do a TV release later on, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm actually really excited for this one. I do love the artist behind this stuff, and hoping that Shaft did a good job on it. The trailers for it already looks fantastic, so we'll have to wait and see. And finally, the biggest news for me, obviously, the biggest news out of all this news, besides Air getting a visual novel release in the West, besides Certain Scientific Railgun coming back, and I have to get caught up on all that, the biggest news of this entire news bit is that Vampires-chan Can't Suck Properly manga is getting a TV anime adaptation. I'm sorry, the moment that I see the title for this, I was like, this is for me. I'm sorry, this is for me. It sounds stupid. It reminds me of some of the older like comedies around vampires and whatnot, like was it Karen or something like that? But yeah, they announced that the studio that will be working on it is Studio Feel, so they'll be animating it, which they do a lot of really good stuff as well. So that's hopefully going to mean that this will actually look good. They also announced the voice actress behind Luna will be Tanaka Minami, which of course is the voice behind Nita Chris in the Fate series, Kaju from Makine here recently, which is a really great voice. But yeah, the comedy manga centers on Luna, a second-year high school transfer student who is popular because of her cool and mysterious aura and her commanding presence. Luna excels in her studies and in sports, but as a vampire, she is actually bad at sucking blood. Tatsuda, Luna's classmate who tends to blend into the scenery at their high school, discovers her secret. As a result, he becomes her mama so she can practice blood sucking. Her mama? I don't even want to know. I don't know. I'm assuming this is kind of going the same route as something like Interview with Monster Girls, where you had the vampire girl in that one. She didn't really drink people's blood, but she had to teeth a lot, so she had to kind of chomp on people. But I'm assuming it's just the fact that she's terrible at, like, I don't know, aiming her teeth, or she just constantly doesn't know what to actually chew on. I don't know. It looks goofy. I'm actually looking forward to it. The character design is super freaking cute. And again, with the great Seiyu behind it, a decent studio working on it, I'm actually really, really looking forward to this one. It just sounds really, really funny. Now, I did kind of skim the manga a little bit, and so I'm kind of a little bit hesitant because it wasn't really grabbing me a lot. But we'll see. In some cases, when it goes into animated format with a rom-com or a comedy series, it just somehow hits different. And I'm looking forward to that with this series. But yeah, super, super excited for it, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's it. That's all the news I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this news bit. If you did, hit that like button down below, comment. Let me know what's the most interesting news in this news bit for you. Was it vampire can't suck properly? Was it the return of the Certain Scientific Railgun series? All that kind of stuff? Definitely let me know. Additionally, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you like this content, you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.